Here we are, we're back out here at the store, and today I have another witness report for you. This is from something that happened a little over a year ago. It was just before I started making my videos. And my friend Ashley, she wanted to go out squatching with me one night, so I went and picked her up about 9:30 at night, and we went back to the cabin and headed up the trail. And I'm going to let Ashley tell you her side of what happened from there. So go ahead.
Hi. So as we started walking up the logging road, we heard this big
trail.
It's a trail. My directions are bad, forgive me. And we heard a whoop come down from by the creek, you know, and it sounded like it was going upstream. And we kept walking, you know, and we all know, all three of us heard it, me, Barb, and Gabby, of course. And we kept walking upstream, and
we got up to the logging road.
To where Barb had left some coins, I believe.
Yeah, coins and some candy on a stump beside the road.
And Barb stopped to, you know, investigate those to see if they had been moved or anybody had taken them. And while she was doing that, I heard a growl come from also down the creek. And I noticed that Gabby noticed it too, because, you know, we both turned around and jumped and looked and went to go see what was you know, happening, and Barb completely missed it.
I didn't hear it, no, but when I looked at them, I could tell they had definitely heard something. Yeah.
So we walked a little further up the logging trail, and you know, we sat in the dark, listened to some music, you know, sang some songs, trying to get, you know, attention, let them know we were there, so we weren't creeping up on them. And
I think we did some wood knocks.
We did some wood knocks and stuff, and we heard some noises from down this, I would say down, my directions are bad.
Just over the hill down
over
toward
the hill,
river,
yeah. And but we didn't hear too much, so we decided after a minute that we'd go down, after sitting there for about 10-15 minutes, that we'd go back down to the creek, you know, down river, creek. So we could investigate where we had heard the noises before, and Barb can tell you a little better about which directions we were going.
What we did was we had gone up the trail where we heard a whoop come from the creek, which was just across the swamp from us. Then we heard it take off upstream. We got up to the logging road. About halfway up to where we were going is where the stump was that I stopped. That's where they heard the growl. From there we continued up to the top of the hill where we made noise, wood knocks, did some songs. And we could hear sticks breaking and movement and stuff coming from over the hill down in front of us. And that's when we decided we were going to head back to the cabin and take another trail that headed downriver toward what we call the swimming hole. We started back downriver from the cabin. And what did we find on the way out there?
Well, we found this tree that had been knocked over and wedged against another tree. And about...
It was about 15, 20 feet up.
20 feet up, there was a vine on this tree that had been completely unraveled all the way, you know, all the way up, and was hanging to the ground. And we found it pretty interesting. We stayed there for a minute.
It was like a total curlicue that had you could see where it had grown completely wrapped around the tree, and it had been unwound up to at least the point where the two trees were connected.
And there was no natural way that, you know, I mean, I could see that this had happened.
Yeah. I can't imagine raccoons out there unwrapping a vine.
No. I don't see
from
that
around
either.
a tree.
And so we took pictures of it, you know, and we kept going along, and we noticed some sticks into the ground. They were, you know, about maybe 4 or 5 foot sticks, and they were stuck a good 6 inches to 12 inches in the ground. Didn't look like they had fallen off a tree and landed this way. It looked like somebody had placed them there forcefully. And,
yeah, I had just been out on that trail a few days before, and they weren't there then. Yeah.
And then from there, we went up and we sat above the swimming hole on that log, I remember.
Yeah, we sat there for about 45 minutes or so, I think. We just sat and had a little visit and listened.
And we didn't hear anything.
No, everything was quiet at that point. We pretty much thought our night was over.
So we decided to make our way back. And on the way back, we noticed when we got back to the vine and up into the tree, it had been snapped. You know, a good 10 feet off the ground, it had been snapped, so half of it was on the ground.
And I think that piece on the ground was in pieces too. It wasn't solid anymore.
Yeah.
In what, maybe the 45 minutes we'd been downriver from there, something had come and pulled it down, the very vine we had just been looking at.
And all the while, you know, it felt something was following us when we were looking at the vine. It felt like, to me, that something was watching, but I didn't see anything. So.
Tell them what was on the ground under the vine.
On the ground, right underneath the vine, was a clear squatch footprint. I mean, so clear. We couldn't get a picture of it because the camera had died at that point by the time we got back. But, I mean, it was clear, and I still think about that every day since then. And then furthermore, as we're walking on, we noticed those those branches that I was talking about stuck in the ground, we counted about 7 or 8 of them, and the one that was most interesting was in the middle of this little, what do you call it, like a little gully?
Well, it was just a little notch. It was where the trail passed between a tree and a stump, and it got really narrow there down to maybe only 1.5 feet wide, right where you walk between the two.
This stick was right in the middle of that, and it was not there on the way. This is the
it
same
was
way
dead
we
center,
went.
right
It was
in the middle.
dead center in the middle of it. We saw 7 or 8 others too, but this one was the one that we were like, wow, because we knew we had just been right there. And I picked that up and, you know, tried to carry it back with me, but it broke after a couple.
Souvenir.
Yeah, I tried to take a souvenir, but it didn't work. It broke.
Yeah.
So much for that. And then we went back to the cabin. I got home around 11:30, so we were out there for about 2 hours. So quite a bit of activity for that 2 hours.
It was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
It was very exciting, and I can't wait to go out again.
Yeah. I want to add that the next day I went back out to take pictures of the sticks that we found stuck in the ground, and they were all gone but one. And I know we took one with us, but yeah, there were several other sticks right there along the path. Most of them weren't there when we went out. There were maybe 3. When we came back, I think it was 8 that we counted.
Yeah, I think we counted 8.
Yeah, and the next day there was 1. All the rest were gone.
So that's 6 unaccounted for.
Yeah, so that tells me that whatever it was that was out there saw us paying attention to that dangling coiled vine, didn't like that, pulled it down behind us. When we were paying attention to the sticks when we were walking out there, and it put more sticks in the ground, which we paid more attention to on the way out, and it removed them, whatever it was.
I mean, and furthermore, when we did see the print, you know, I looked at our boots, you know, because I'm thorough, so I looked at our boot prints, and you could see all those, you know, and you could see our boot prints on the ground, and they were not the squatch footprint. That was a squatch footprint. It was big.
I would say it was probably one of the 12-inchers.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Wide.
And you could see the toe prints and everything in it, where the heel and the, I don't know what it's called, the sole of the foot hit the ground. You could see all of that. It was very neat.
It was really cool.
It was.
You're stoked.
Chills thinking about it.
Yeah. It was cool.
It's exciting.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing this with us.
No problem.
I've been waiting a long time to get this on tape.
I know. Me too.
Okay, well, I'm glad you made it back up here today.
I know. I'll come back more often. I promise.
Okay, cool. We'll get you out in the woods again.
That's right.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.